Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's me, Mario. No, it's me, Ayman. Welcome back. As you can see in my attire, in my jewelry, look at my outfit. You guys can't see it fully, but oh my god, it is stunning. And that's not just, you know, me self-advertising. It is actually quite nice. Today I'm gonna be bringing you guys what you need to know about desi weddings. If you guys don't know, I am Pakistani. Desi means you are essentially from the subcontinent of South Asia, meaning India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, etc. So I'm going to be talking to you guys today about Pakistani weddings, the events that go on, and kind of everything you need to know. Now, have you ever had a co-worker or a friend of yours that tells you that they have to go back home to attend a family member's wedding, and you expect them to go back for like 2-3 days, and they're like, oh no, I'm going to be gone for a month. And do you wonder why they keep uploading wedding Insta stories one day after the other, after the other, after the other, and then you realize it's been 2 weeks and they're still at the same wedding? And then you wonder, are they going to 2 weddings? 3? How is this wedding so long? Or maybe you're dating someone that is desi and you're not desi yourself, so you're like, what am I in for if I marry this person? Well, here's what you need to know. Now, before all the wedding functions happen, you have a baat pakki. And in translation, that literally translates to word permanent. And that is basically when the parents of the girl and the parents of the guys meet. And it's kind of like a spoken agreement that yes, they will get married. Then obviously comes the engagement, the exchange of the engagement rings. You guys know how it is. For my sisters, that was quite a big affair. That was a lot of fun. A lot of drinking, a lot of dancing, a lot of partying. You know how it is. It's pretty standard as just any other engagement. Now, we move on to the proper wedding functions, which yes, they actually do last a week, maybe more sometimes. And this is why. So basically a week or so before the wedding, like yes, already everyone's stressed as hell because the desi wedding is about to happen. Now the first event that kind of takes place is called the Mayu or the tail Mendy. And basically what happens during the Mayu is the bride and like her family members and cousins kind of just pamper her and make sure she's looking glowing and just fantastic and just is looking queen mode for her upcoming wedding. Now during the Mayu, they basically put upton on the bride's skin and everything to make sure it's exfoliated, it's glowing, she's got that bride glow. They also put oil in her hair to make it look shinier for the wedding and so on. And basically it's just a whole ass pampering session. Now for the longest time, it was only the bride that kind of did the Mayu, but recently the guys do it as well because hello, male grooming is also very important, I'll have you know. So that is basically sort of like the wedding prep, other than like the 8 months of the wedding prep you've been doing before that. Then comes the event of the dua. Now dua in English basically means prayer, and this can be a joint event or a separate event with both families. And basically what happens during the dua is the bride and groom kind of just are sitting there with their elders and family around them, and basically the elders offer up prayers as well as the parents, just to make sure, you know, like we pray that the marriage is really long and healthy and happy and that you guys have the best married life ever. Basically it's just well-wishing and all of that. And I know I'm making it sound really boring, like, oh okay, it's just the dua, all you do is pray. Like no, yes, you pray for the most part, but after that it's kind of like party shaadi time. Literally, like after that you can dance, like there's music playing, everything's going on. It's quite a lot of fun. Like yes, you have to dress slightly more conservatively during the dua, and I'm not talking hijab and niqab and whatnot, but like, you know, let's not like expose our midriffs at this point in time. You know what I mean? Now, depending on how the bride and groom have arranged it, sometimes it's a joint dua, sometimes it is a separate one, meaning the guy will have one and the girl will have one. And also, it can be right after the Mayu, or it can be a completely separate event. You can choose which order you want to have things in, and if you want them together or if you want them separately. I'm already getting stressed and sweating talking about this, and my marriage is nowhere near. Like my sisters got married in the last few years, so I'm like PTSD, the stress is coming back to me. Now the next event is probably everyone's favorite event by far, and it's called the Mendy. And no, they're not just putting henna on the bride again. I don't know why it's called the Mendy, it just is. But basically think of it as like a step up to 2 movie, and it's all the cousins of both sides competing against each other in like a dance competition almost. It is so fun. So basically how it works is the Mendy is the funnest event because essentially the cousins of the bride and the cousins of the groom have been practicing dances, choreographing them and whatnot to like the most popular desi songs of that year, and the whole thing is kind of showing the other side that like, oh, like we can entertain better than you guys, we can dance better than you guys, like, oh, the bride's side is better, blah blah. Obviously it's all in good fun, but it's a lot of fun because you get to dance for your side, like you're dancing in front of the bride and groom and everyone's family, and it's just so much fun. Like, believe me, it's so much fun. Now with that, there's another event called Dolkies, and that's not one singular event. That can happen maybe 5, 6, 7 times till the wedding happens, and that's basically just code for dance practices. People drink, they practice the dances, they just have a good time. So you do have a couple of dolkies obviously to get your dances together before the wedding actually happens, and it's always just so much fun. So the Mendy happens, all the dances happen, there is always a clear winner. I think at my first sister's wedding, it may have been the other side. But at my second sister's wedding, it was definitely our side 100%. We had choreographed so many more dances than them. Take that, Aussie. Aussie is my brother-in-law. So that's basically that, and the rest of the night is just a bunch of just dancing and singing and getting lit. That is by far the funnest event for sure. Like, I'm so looking forward to my Mendy. Like, in all weddings, the Mendy is the only thing I look forward to, and of course the free food, because we love free food. Now that's the Mendy. So basically another event you can have right after the Mendy if you want, or on a separate day as a completely separate event, is the Sangeet or the Qawwali, which literally translates to a musical evening. And in that, a Qawwali is more traditional in the sense you'll invite a qawwal, which is, think of it as a desi orchestra where men are obviously trained to sing in a certain way, and they're playing the tablas, which is like, a tabla is like an accordion with a piano stuck to it, if you get what I mean. And obviously they've got the drums and whatnot, they've got the drums, but it's just very fun. And because they play a lot of like old classic songs as well as new ones, the elders really enjoy it, the younger generation really enjoy it, and it's just a good time. Sangeet, I think, is the more modern version of it. There doesn't always have to be a qawwal that comes. It can also just be a musical night where you just party and have fun. So basically, till now, we've had a bunch of functions. We've done nothing except dance like Jenna Dewan, get lit and drink, and just sing and dance. So the next event that happens, and this is more of a closed private event, and it's called the Nikkah. So basically, the Nikkah is like the Islamic wedding, so to speak. That's when the Molvi or the Imam or the kind of minister, if that makes it easier for you to understand, kind of comes, and the girl signs all the documents. The male witnesses are there to be like, yes, she consented, yes, she consented. And I feel like it's so funny when people go on about women not having rights in Islam or whatnot, but like, the woman literally has to consent 3 times audibly. She gets asked, do you consent to this marriage? Do you consent? Do you consent? Like, people go off about like, oh, Islam's so restricting to women. It's not. It's like Islam puts women on a pedestal, and I feel like people don't really know that. Well, then the Nikkah is sort of very private, and it's mainly for the immediate family. And then the next thing that you kind of have mostly on the same day is the shaadi itself, and the shaadi translates to wedding, literally. So that's the last kind of function of the week, and basically the bride and groom come down, everyone takes pictures of them, you know, it's the last one, everyone's eating, you know, toasting to the bride and groom, cutting cake, if you will. And at this point, okay, keep in mind, you guys, now in desi weddings, it's very common, and it's actually the done thing, that the girl side pays for the whole wedding. Nowadays, because we're not living in archaic times, usually both sides split the costs, but usually the girl side does pay for everything. So on the day of the shaadi itself, there's these things that you can do called rusums, and basically that's just ways of getting money from the groom any way you can. In the olden times, there's a lot more rusums you could do because the girl and guy hadn't seen each other. Like, oh, he could look into the veil, and then he'd have to give money to the girl's side or whatever the hell. But nowadays people date, they very much met their significant other before the wedding has happened. And so with these ones, the traditions are more fun and it's very much just for the cousins on the bride's side. So basically something that we do at our weddings a lot is this thing called juta chupai. And basically what it is in a very sneaky sort of way, while someone is distracting the groom, one of the cousins from the bride's side kind of has to steal one of his shoes. And then basically we tell the groom that we're only gonna give him his shoe back if he gives us a certain amount of money. And that money isn't like a dowry or anything. That money is literally gonna be split between the cousins for more partying, for more party activities, if you will. So basically, if there's like 10 cousins and you guys want 1,000 rupees each, then you'd be like, okay, give us 100,000 rupees, which I know that sounds a lot, but like do the exchange rate, it's not that much. So basically that's also very fun because, you know, it's this whole like covert operation that's going on mid-wedding, so it's just a lot of fun. And I remember having so much fun doing it when I was little because they always get the little kids to do it because the groom never suspects them, but obviously now it's such a dumb thing that everyone suspects what's going on. Basically after the shadi, that's when the rukhsati happens, which is basically when the groom takes the bride away up into the hotel room and you know what happens after that. Sucks. But basically that's all in all a desi wedding. Now there is one more function and that is solely from the guy's side, and that is called a velima. And the velima is basically the guy's family sort of introducing the bride to their family and friends and kind of welcoming her to their side of the family. Because I guess in Islam, like once you become married, you kind of become more part of the groom's family than you do your own family. Obviously, again, we're not living in archaic time, so like that's not the case anymore, but that's kind of like what it's meant to be. A lot of people think the velima is pointless, other people like having it. Honestly, it really depends. It really depends, because making wedding clothes, oh my god, in Pakistan, like it's such a stress, especially when you make it months before and then you end up losing weight or gaining weight. You're literally making alterations till the day of the event. It's a joke. And you just never have enough time. Like, how am I meant to come up with 7 outfits, all on point, all in fashion? You know what I mean? It is hard, especially when you don't live here and you don't know the fashion trends. Thankfully, I've got my mum for that. And honestly, I can't even tell you the amount of times, like, I love shadis, do not get me wrong. The amount of times like random aunties will come up to you and be like, oh beta, I haven't seen you in so long, do you remember me? And I'm like, dude, who are you? And you always have to be like, huh, yes auntie, I remember you. And you have no idea who they are. They probably met you when you were literally still a fetus inside your mother's stomach, and they're like, oh yeah, you expect me to remember you? I don't know who you are. Then of course, as a girl, there's always the, oh beta, you look so cute, when are you getting married? Aapki shaadi kab hai? And it's like, I didn't come here to get attacked. It's like, no, auntie, let's get this straight. I didn't come to my cousin's wedding for then you to ask me when my wedding is. Like, hello, oh my god. I can't tell you how many aunties asked me when my wedding was at my sister's wedding, because obviously I'm the last one in the family, so obviously I'm the one getting married next. And it's like, dude, and I was like 21 at the time. It's like, I'm not getting married anytime soon. Like, stop asking me these questions. And it's always like people just, you know, either shoving naan in their face or dropping something on their shalwar kameez that they've spent so long tailoring, and it's like, well, see you in hell, my friend. That is gonna make your mama very mad. This is just a PSA to all shadi aunties. No, I don't want to meet your son who's of marriageable age. No, maybe I'm single, maybe I'm not, but I'm obviously not gonna tell you that because you're gonna go and gossip and tell everyone. Like, no, I'm not telling you anything. And then it's always literally, if you look good at a function, all the aunties will be like, oh, who's that? Whose daughter is that? Is she married? Is she single? Where did she go to school? And it's like, can a girl not look good in peace? Damn. Yeah, that's just a little bit of what you have to go through at a wedding. You know how it is. But either way, you guys, how many events did I even mention? Okay, the Baat Pakki and engagement, I'm not gonna count that. So we have the Mayu, the Dua, the Mendy, all the Dholkis, the Sangeet, the Nikkah, the Shadi, and the Velima. That's 8 events. That's 8 events that can be on separate days. It can be 4 in one week, 4 in the next. So do you realize now that when I say, oh, I'm going home for a wedding, I will not be back for at least a month. literally. But they're so much fun. I feel like anyone who's come to a desi wedding and is not desi themselves has had a blast. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I know there is a lot of bilinguality going on in this video, but hopefully I explained all the terms for you guys. You guys understood what the hell I'm saying. You guys aren't dumb. I'm sure you understood. But yeah, let me know what you thought of the hype that is desi weddings. Yeah, have you ever been to one? Let me know in the comments below. Are you about to have one? Better not have one during COVID, but are you about to have one after COVID? Let me know. Did your wedding get delayed because of COVID? Let me know. Either way, guys, as always, that is it from me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye. Juta chupai, 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 juta chupai, chupo, chupo. Chapai, chapai.